right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for another episode of Justin versus Sean, and this week we actually have just about the full crew here. We have Jerrell, who's coming in once again. I think he'll just probably be a regular since he likes to come in and give his stuff in. We'll also have Justin here, you know, my nemesis, the person I'll be arguing with on most of these podcasts, and myself, Sean. But today, she's finally here, and we're going to give her a clap in. We have Nadya, who's here. Gotham Geek Girl, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
Hey guys, thank you for having me. Gotham Geek Girl here from Brooklyn, New York. I'm excited to join you guys and talk about everything DC fandom. My name is Gotham Geek Girl. I'm a huge DC fanatic. You can find me at GothamGeekGirl.com. I'm also on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, Gotham Geek Girl.
All right,
which basically means she's going to be on my side most of the time.
Probably. But I think that's why I have Jerrell here, because Jerrell gets kind of neutral every once in a while, and I don't have to defend certain stuff altogether. And I think he has more of a neutral attitude towards things. Yeah. But Gotham Geek Girl does also. She's a Marvel fan and a DC. I think more DC than Marvel. But I mean, both brands have their stuff and have their faults. I have personal picks that I don't like about DC, but overall, I give DC a lot of praise for some of the stuff they do. But
with that being said, what did you think about the format as far as them like removing themselves from San Diego Comic-Con, choosing to do their own virtual platform? Because like I said from the beginning, if everything's going to be virtual and if nobody's going to show up at these arenas and at these halls, if you're a studio, if you're a company, why would you pay money to be a part of a virtual experience when you can just create your own virtual experience for free? And, that's pretty much what they did. They moved it from July to yesterday to August 22nd. And the format of how they did it, like what did everybody think about, how it was actually done? And do you think they're going to do that again going forward, or once everything goes back to normal, it's back to Comic-Con as usual?
I think the panels, honestly, were a little cringe. And the reason why I said it was a little cringe, this is coming from a DC item too, but it's cringy because, I don't know, it just seemed, I think it would have been better if it was live. Like you can,
of course.
I think, and you can tell the questions that were asked. I don't think fans will actually ask some of these questions. It sounds too corporate. Like, oh, what really? And that's something like a press person will ask. The question Nadya or me or Sean or even you, Jerrell, will ask them like, so what was it like to get into this character? What was it like to prepare for this role and things like that?
Well, they do have the ability, because I don't think it's not that no one asked quote unquote realistic questions, but seeing how it was pre-recorded, they can choose the questions.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because I'm pretty sure some people just like, yo, what y'all doing with this? And then they're just, all right, we ain't gonna answer that.
No, like for me, I'm not a fan of it. I wasn't a fan of all of it. I thought some of it was well done, but a lot of it wasn't. And I can't see this being something going forward, because you're going to lose more fans. And for cons, you're going to lose the casual fan coming in, because a lot of casual fans don't always go to the panels. They really go there for the cosplay, to be a part of it, to see it. And if you put this online, a lot of people that aren't really fans watching it was like, I didn't care because I can see the trailers. I had to sit through people talking just to get to the thing I wanted to see, which was the trailers, and all that was on YouTube. So
but that would hurt Comic-Con more so than the DC company, because I know a lot of people that buy tickets to go to Comic-Con
to see the trailers,
just to cosplay,
Yeah. But I also think it gets boring, because there were a lot of times I was watching this and I kind of tuned it out and started working on something else. Wow, because I didn't care about this panel. I mean, I didn't like the fact that the panels went in order. I would rather have been able to, when they asked me to alert, they had a section when you logged in to alert you when the panel you wanted to see came on. Let me do that. That way I don't have to waste my time listening to like this guy sing the song about Superman. Like I was sitting there and I was thinking to myself, like, I don't care. Like Like, I hope your album drops and you make money, but I don't care. Like, but it was just stupid. For me, it was stupid. But I guess for other people who were interested in it, they were like, "Oh my God, he's singing!" And I'm
Well, in person. Now, if you were there in person and there was a panel going on that you didn't care about, or there was a guy singing that you didn't care about,
I would just walk away.
yeah, you would go buy a T-shirt. You know, you would do other things. You'd set up your camera equipment.
I'd boo him if I had to.
I thought it was a little weird that they made you sign up and you couldn't even like. What was the whole point of signing up if you couldn't choose what to watch? That was a little weird.
The sign up was kind of because they split it into 2 events because there was way too much content. So originally there was going to be tons of overlapping panels because there's still like 100+ hours of content for September 12th.
Yeah, they moved
So
all the TV
originally
shows.
that's why they did the sign up.
Okay,
Well, what did you think of the format, Nadia?
I'm up in the air. Like, being that we don't have cons right now, I loved it. But when we do eventually get back to normal, I really hope that they keep going to cons because I fly to San Diego every year to go to Hall H to watch the DC trailers. Like, I legit line up and stay, me and my friends camp out because like that's the whole experience of San Diego Comic-Con. Like, we go to see the trailers as they announce it and like see the panels live. Like, that's my whole San Diego experience. So I feel like if they take that away, like, not to say I won't go, like I still go because there's so much great like comic content, but like that's a huge part of San Diego Comic-Con. Like, without Hall H, I feel like they're like gonna kill Comic-Con.
Yeah, and that's the experience Justin and I want. We want to be able to go to San Diego Comic-Con. It's gotten kind of hard as of the last couple of years to get in, but I would love to go do that. I don't know about the camping out part. I think I'm gonna have.
I was about to say, bro, not to cut you off. I ain't trying to wait no lines.
Me and my friends, like we go deep. Like, it's probably like 15+ of us, so we have shifts. So like we plan it all out. So it's like if there's like a panel I want to see, I'll get offline and like it's my turn. I'll go do my thing, and someone else is gonna hold the line down, and then we'll come back until we get all our wristbands. So it's just like taking shifts and taking turns, but it's really fun. It's like a crazy experience.
And you know what? And I think that's the problem Justin and I have, where we, what we haven't been able to do because it's just me, him, and like and a few other people, and we're like, we want to we live in New York, so when we go to Comic-Con, it's not like the experience of just staying in a hotel. Which one year I think that's something we have to do. We have to like rent a hotel so that we don't have to come back to Queens and sit down and just do everything. What I'm really hoping New York Comic-Con does is what San Diego does. The entire town is taken over by everything.
That's gonna be hard.
That's the thing, though. That's my, what's the word? That's my like. I get annoyed with New York in a sense because they're trying too hard to be San Diego, and you can't. It doesn't fit. Like, the way San Diego is set up, like the whole downtown can be a part of it, but it doesn't necessarily work in New York. We don't have the space. There's too many cars, too much traffic. I think what New York needs to do is go back to how they had the separate artist alley, like that whole section, which I believe they're going to do again because I know they were doing construction.
Yeah, I was going to say
like,
they're actually making it bigger.
They tried to get Madison Square Garden involved.
Well, I think the reason,
Hammerstein.
Yeah, I think the reason why they're involved, you see all that empty space where the railroad is and all those stores that are empty. I know their big plan is to knock all that down, and all those buildings that they're building over there, there are going to be concert halls on like the bottom floors of those buildings. And I know they're building a big dual theater that's down there where those old construction things are, so that you can now have Comic-Con across. Instead of walking to Hammerstein, they're gonna have Hammerstein, but maybe we don't have to go to Madison Square Garden. You just be able to walk across.
Yeah, they're not trying to take over New York. They're just trying to take over that 4-block radius.
Yeah, and then be able to.
Yeah, because you have to think safety wise too. Like, it's not like San Diego where you have fields where people can wait. In New York, there's cars and like buildings everywhere. We don't have fields.
Yeah. And see, I'm kind of on the fence with the whole format thing because I'm the type of person, I would like to go to panels, but I ain't standing online all day. I got other things to do. Like, I don't get 4-day passes. I get one pass for one day. When I go to Comic-Con, I interview all the cosplayers. I interview people. So I don't have time to do interviews, buy a T-shirt, get something to eat, and then, and I ended up missing a lot of panels because of that. I actually liked yesterday's format because I was like, wow, I can actually sit here in my drawers, watch every single panel, and I don't have to camp out in the corner, with people stepping over me because I'm taking up space.
That's true.
So that aspect of it didn't bother me, but I do agree with Sean. If the way they did the format yesterday would have been perfect if it was live. Yep. And I understand that they didn't do it live because because we're dealing with technology and things, and if something goes wrong, you can't fix. It's embarrassing if something goes wrong when you try and do it live. But because you pre-recorded everything, like Sean said, we should have been able to just click and I shouldn't have had to wait till 8:30 to watch the Robert Pattinson.
Yeah,
like that. I should have just been. If it's pre-recorded, just let me click on it and watch it now.
So we all agree.
Or if they did it like the sorry.
No, go ahead.
They did it like the Comic-Con at home, where you were able to click say YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And you could kind of control what you wanted to watch.
Yeah.
So that could have worked too.
Well, the only last thing I'll add to that is that the only reason I don't like the non-live format is because Justin said it best. It looked like they're interns.
For real.
Were on there, answering questions. They're like, "Hey, you want to get paid this week? You want to eat? Ask Gal Gadot this question." And that's it.
Here's the question. Read it. Act like you're you're not employed by us.
Yeah, and that's it. But so.
Speaking of that,
now that we have that going on, let's talk about let's get into the panels,
which was Wonder Woman 1984 was the first one.
So we're gonna do the segment as the good, the bad, and the cringy. All right.
Isn't that the same thing?
I'll say the good, the bad, and the overhyped.
Come on, we already know what you're gonna say is overhyped.
So shockingly, you might not believe what I think was overhyped.
He said the cringy.
We'll start with the Wonder Woman panel. Wonder Woman 1984. I will say, it didn't disappoint me. I don't think anything Wonder Woman has done so far this year has disappointed me, because it looks like whoever's running Wonder Woman takes time, care, and understanding as to what that movie needs. And they don't overdo it. Like the characters, I was really scared for Cheetah. And they did even in the trailer, I was like, wow, they didn't do this. Yep. All of a sudden she starts growing fur, and then she stops her lasso. It's like you could see her powers are growing while she's there arguing with her. But they did an excellent job as to what's going on. So
I like the trailer. The
trailer.
Like I mean, the panel is, like I said, that's the one I felt was the most cringiest. Like you said with the DC interns, that was just like, oh my god, I couldn't. There's parts I had to mute it.
No, that wasn't the cringy part to me. The cringy part was when they were sitting there talking to each other. They kind of look like, yo, look, man, I was on my way somewhere. Like, you guys only said 20 minutes.
Yeah, Kristen Wiig looked like she didn't want to be. She's like, yo, I know. She's like, I did not want to promote this movie like this. She's like, just get me out of here. Just get me out of here. But I would have to say I'm really happy Cheetah doesn't look like the movie Cats. That's what was my big concern.
Yes.
But I was just like, okay, please have some type of practical. It looks like it's a mix of CG and practical effects, because they said she did wear some type of suit because they didn't let her to take a picture of it. Yeah. But I was like, okay, she looks good. That's like my biggest concern. I was like, just let me see what Cheetah looks like, and let's just hope it doesn't look like the movie Cats.
No, better yet, let's just hope it doesn't look like Justice League Cyborg.
See, that's not fair, because at the end of the movie, they showed Cyborg fixing his body and his chest plate to turn into the cyborg. See, you gotta let them build to that. Like, you're just not gonna get the cyborg, right out the gate.
It's 2020. We can make the suit right.
The
first time.
Slow build.
Look what the fans did for Apocalypse. They looked at that and was like, yo, man, if you don't change that suit, we're not seeing this movie. And it happened.
They did that with Sonic the Hedgehog.
True.
Well, Sonic needed change. I don't know what that was, but okay.
Nadya, what do you think?
I think Kristen Wiig looks great. When I first saw the first trailer, it's like, okay, this looks kind of dope, but same concerns as Justin. Like, my biggest pet peeve with movies is CGI, biggest pet peeve. And I was really worried with Cheetah. I was like, oh my god, if it's all CGI, I'm gonna be so mad. If they ruin this, but I think she looks great from what we saw. And Kristen Wiig, I know her as a comedian. I've never really seen her serious, and just from the trailer, I think I'm sold. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, they still gave us her little Kristen Wiig moments. You know, when Diana asked her, "Have you ever been in love?" And I was like, okay, so you got to expect a little bit of comedy coming from her specifically, and also and also when what's the dude name Pine?
Chris Pine.
Yeah, when Pine comes back, because in the first Wonder Woman, it was him bringing her to man's world, and she was a silly-eyed schoolgirl. She was like, "Oh, look, it's a baby, and what is ice cream?" And now it's going to be the reverse, where
the reverse fish out of water.
Yeah, you know, it's gonna be him walking around like, "Well, what's that?" You know, like, what happened to these clothes?
Oh,
and,
what's this?
Yeah, like so. But I'm fine with that because I enjoyed it in the first one.
Kristen Wiig would make me laugh, and she was like, "Well, what do you think of love? I ain't afraid of no ghosts." Like, I'd have turned around and fell out laughing, like, "Oops, wrong movie."
But it's gonna be. I mean, obviously we can all agree because there was already a trailer. We only watched this one just to see how she looked as Cheetah.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it wasn't. I mean, because it wasn't really like anything else in the trailer. Which, you know, like I already know what Maxwell Lord looks like. So you know, it was really like they could have just been like, "Hey, here's a Cheetah poster," and we would have been good without a trailer.
True.
True.
You know, so as long as she looked good, like I said, I was gonna see it anyway. And when it comes out in October, I'm gonna see it again.
I'm gonna ask one person who's in the audience with us now. Greg, what did you think of the Wonder Woman trailer? Did you?
I think it was good. I think it was good. I just felt that you know, I wanted to see more. I definitely enjoyed the aspect of the costume of Cheetah and the actress that they picked. So I was happy with that. Can't wait to see it.
All right, so that's good. So okay, so Wonder Woman first panel. I'm gonna give this one a good rating. Like I think it worked for everybody, and I think everybody enjoyed it. So I'm gonna say this one was a success. The next panel they brought up was the Gotham Knights panel.
Yeah.
And I don't know anybody. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what? Let me clap this up for Gotham Knights. Let me clap that up for them. Let me clap that up. All right?
Yeah.
All right. I just want to tell them that they went beyond my expectations.
Yeah, agreed.
First of all, I want to say I didn't even know it was coming out. So when I saw it, I was just like, oh, they're gonna continue from when Bruce bit the dust. Okay, like. What are you gonna bring out next? Is the Ghost of Bruce coming out? And then they went into this long trailer, and then they gave me the ultimate rush, the Court of Owls.
Court of Owls.
And they didn't do it cheesy either. They had both masks. They had the mansion, and then they showed you all the chambers. Now my only thing is the surprise gonna be the Bruce is one of the talents?
Oh,
That might work.
Well, I mean, we all know he's not dead.
Yeah.
Like even when
he can't be dead.
when the trailer started and he did the whole like I leave Gotham in your hands, I'm like bullshit.
Like, you ain't dead.
Like he doesn't trust anybody.
Exactly. I was like, you know, damn well you don't trust none of them, especially no Red
You ain't
Hood.
dead.
Yeah, to take he ain't dead. I mean, I loved it because like Dick Grayson, Nightwing is my favorite comic book character of all time. So when I saw when they had the shot with the four of them standing on top of the building, and I'm glad that Batgirl is back because, like, truth be told, I hate Oracle, but I like Batgirl.
Yeah, they're gonna have to explain to me how she walking again.
Well, they showed the wheelchair off in the corner when she was on the. But I hate Oracle with a passion. Like I hate the fact that they stuck her in front of a computer for X amount of years. Like I like Batgirl, I want Batgirl. So when I was like, all right, so we get Robin, we get Batgirl, whatever with Red Hood. It's cool to have Red Hood, but I was hyped because I was like, okay, because in the last games it was just nothing but Batman. It's like, and I was sick of playing Batman. I was like, they gave me like 2 minutes of Nightwing, like 30 minutes of Robin. They let you play Batgirl in the DLC, but now we can be everybody. So I'm definitely gonna pre-order that when it comes out because my brother even texted me. He was just like, "Oh, you're excited about playing a video game that doesn't have Batman?" I was like, "No disrespect, but fuck Batman."
All right, Dick Grayson.
All right, for real.
Like I said straight like
say
that.
it with your chest.
I was like, "Fuck Batman!" Like his time is over. I was like, and then let's be real. We all know he's not gonna die anyway.
True.
He's not dead. He's not dead. But day one, and then they showed the footage. They actually showed gameplay footage.
Mm-hmm.
That footage was amazing.
And I was tight.
Bananas.
I was tight because they showed her because it was mostly Batgirl footage, which I'm fine with. But they showed her going through all the stuff with the zip line in the building. She talked to Robin and as soon as Mr. Freeze shows up, and I'm like, we about to get into it. He was like, yes, that's all the time we have today. I was like, you son of a bitch.
Well, for those who let me just throw some info out there. This is because I know people were watching the trailer. I had people texting me like, so what timeline is this? This is after Arkham Knight. This is apparently in the Arkham universe, but separate continuity. So I guess a different timeline. Don't know how that is. Maybe the Flash shows up, but it's a different timeline.
I just assumed it was after Arkham.
Yeah, it's after Arkham, but in a different timeline somehow. They says separate, separate. So that's why, because that's not Kevin Conroy's voice.
Yeah, it's not.
It's a different voice who's playing Batman. I was like, wait, that's not Kevin Conroy.
But it's not about him.
Yeah, I absolutely love the happy it's coming out for the PS4. So that's good. It's not. It's going to be previous gen and next gen, so you can get it for your PS5 as well. This is how you showcase, unlike another game that we'll talk about later. This is how you actually showcase your game. You show a trailer and you show gameplay footage.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that other game later because I'm gonna go in on that.
Conroy probably didn't want to do it because he's like, "Wait, I'm dead."
I absolutely love the fact that it's gonna be free roam. Looks like you could actually travel with vehicles like Arkham Knight, which is as you saw with Batgirl's Batcycle.
Yeah,
I think Conroy didn't do it because I think it might have been a money issue. Do you really want to pay him to probably do?
Yeah, like 10 minutes.
10, 20 minutes of a game.
It's
like,
Kevin Conroy. You pay him whatever you want.
That's true.
That's
same thing
like,
with Mark Hamill.
That's why I was like,
he
he probably didn't do it because he was just like, wait, so you just want me to say this one page of lines? He was like, nah, I'm good.
My only concern, I know it's going to be co-op. So my concern is hopefully it's not going to be like a live service type of game. Like when they'll add like the Avengers game that's coming out soon. That's completely trash. I'm not gonna deny you on that one because a lot of people are screaming. Wow, shocked.
No, like you gotta call a spade a spade. Like everybody says, like it's not fun.
It's just like I saw that Robin was able to just pop in. I think they said it's 2-player co-op online. Yeah. So that's a little interesting with 4 characters. Like, so how's that gonna?
Well, that kind of works where, remember Resident Evil 5?
Yeah.
5, it was co-op. You can join with your friend and play the campaign, and it counts towards the campaign. So
yeah, that was my only question too. I'm like, do we switch back and forth? Is it like 2 people at a time on a mission, and then you can switch back and forth?
Can you switch characters at will?
Yeah, because in Arkham Knight, you can switch. You can hit L1, and then you can go back and forth. So, but I don't care. I'm gonna buy it anyway.
What do you think, Nadya?
I'm happy that they didn't give us too much beforehand. Like, like sometimes like when there's an announcement, we probably figured we would get like concept art because they've been giving us like little sneak peeks with what was that website? The Red, with the codes.
Oh, I know what you mean. I can't remember the website though.
Like all right. So basically, like we were just getting like little hints. We didn't really get anything before this, and like they gave us so much. Like the fact that they gave us that huge trailer and the gameplay without anything being like released beforehand. Yeah. So it was like a big shock. Like we didn't really know much about this game before.
That nothing got spoiled.
So, yeah. So like that was like huge for me. Like the fact that we got all of that yesterday.
See, they were smart about it though, because the reason why they specifically, because if you're promoting a game with 4 characters, the reason why they specifically just showed us Batgirl is because her fighting style, her play style is basically similar to Batman. So they showed us the one character that they weren't going to show us how because I was like, my whole thing is Red Hood has guns. I'd like to see how he fights, but they didn't want to give us that. So they tried to keep some things, to themselves.
Yeah, I agree. So
because like the Arkham games, like the fighting style, like the combat, I feel like that was like new. Like it brought something huge to video games. Like the Spider-Man game kind of took off that technology.
True. So we all agree, Gotham Knights.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
The thing to go. Okay, so what was the third panel after that?
It was introducing the Flash. So this is basically the director of It giving you a little bit of concept art of what the Flash movie is going to be. And the concept art, for those who didn't see it, is Michael Keaton's Batman. And they're talking about how the Flash is going to have a new suit. So the Flash movie is going to feature Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton. So they're going to have 2 Batmans in this. And this is going to be designed to give Ben Affleck his nice swan song, a way for him to say goodbye. That's why he's not going to be in the full movie. They said that he is going to be the heart of the movie. Just like they say, it's going to be an emotional connection between him and Barry, obviously, because they both lost their mothers. They both lost their parents. So it's him basically mentoring Barry, similar to another I'm not really a fan of this because it's too similar to a certain Spider and a certain Iron Man.
Spider.
Yes,
and
it's like
Peter,
he give him his suit. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm gonna give the
but
Flash his suit.
Yeah,
It's
but
just like,
Ezra Miller's grown though. He a grown ass man. Like,
yeah,
Peter,
it's just like
Listen,
Peter was in high school.
here's my thing. I still don't like how the Flash runs.
me either.
It is.
It's weird.
It looks like he's doing a ballet. Like, I don't want to be derogatory about this. It's just like, why are you flicking your hands like please, sir. See my like, what are you doing? Like,
It looks more like he's ice skating.
yeah,
you know?
like just run. Like, and then Justin and I spoke about this. Like, these are different universes. These are different multiverse timelines. I don't need Iris to be black in every timeline.
That's true.
I don't. Like, I love the girl who plays Iris on
Candace Patton.
Yeah, on the Flash.
Yeah,
TV
I love
show.
her.
I like who they picked for Iris, but I kind of feel like this is, with the era we're in right now and the times that we're in right now, I feel like some studios are just placating towards making people happy.
Yeah.
And it's like, listen, like, don't give me Iris really light, like, to put that on there. I don't. And this is nothing. And I want to say this. This is nothing against the actresses playing her. I think she probably like auditioned her ass off to get this role. But it's like, okay, you don't need this to be Iris in every... Like, I mean, the timeline where Iris is black is in a different multiverse than what the original Flash timeline is, which I have no problem with it. If you want to make this with Iris, I want it to be genuine. I want it to be authentic. I want the actress who's going to play her to be it, because I remember Justin said this yesterday. There was such a black backlash. I was going to say blacklash.
Yeah, no, it was.
Like,
It was the Keep Iris Black hashtag.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, give me the best actress is gonna play Iris, and then let that be it.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, there could be multiple Irises. There could be an Asian Irish, for all I care. Like,
True, but from a studio standpoint, if you have a television show where she's black, and the television show was very popular,
Casual audience.
and you feel like, wow, people actually like this, and then you check your Twitter account, and those same fans that love this Flash TV show are blowing up your Twitter with a hashtag saying "Keep Iris Black." I don't necessarily have a problem with them saying, well, shoot, the people want it. Why not? Because at least we know all these people that just hashtag the hell out of me are going to go watch this movie. But, you know,
The thing with that is,
but then, like you said, they chose like the lightest chick of all time.
but the thing with that is, when it comes to, and not trying to deviate from that conversation, with the Twitter hashtag, those people usually don't come out and support the product that they raving and ranting about. So that's the problem. Like, a lot of studios cave into these hashtags, like, oh my God, all these people are they're just upset, or they're no. It's just
but at least in this case. But at least in this case, at least they can pull from a working formula.
Well, they're going to post a recast that anyway.
Like at least they can say, well, she works black on television. It's not like they just magically was just like, well, they want her black. Should we do that? They already know it works. You know, so to do it again, I guess for them it wasn't a big deal.
And just a fun fact, they did confirm that he's going to get his name because of Grant Gustin's. For the audience who's listening. So if you watch Crisis, spoiler, if you watch Crisis on Infinite Earths, Ezra Miller's Flash did show up, and that's how he got his name from Grant Gustin's Barry Allen. So yes, it is technically connected somehow.
Nadya, your thoughts?
I wish we got a little more. I kind of thought that panel was a letdown. Because the biggest news to me out of everything was Ben coming back, and like, that wasn't even a topic in DC Fandome, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, beforehand, like, that was the best news of 2020 that I've heard, period. Ben Affleck. So I kind of was like over expecting more from that panel. Like, I thought we were going to get a little more besides the concept art. Like, the Flash movie has been in talk for years, and I know it got like dropped like probably 5 times, but like I kind of thought by now we would get like a little.
Somebody gonna have to tell the actor to stay out of trouble. That's why he's getting dropped.
He was on the panel looking like Dumbledore, because I didn't even recognize him.
He looks high all the time.
He had like the long hair.
Oh my God! At San Diego Con, he wore a mushroom costume. Like, he's funny, but he's crazy.
And I mean, that's fine. So we'll say the Flash panel. It is what it is.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was 10 minutes of, oh look, they gave me concept art. All right, cool.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Exactly.
And but I'm not in the camp with. I don't think that's going to be Ben Affleck's swan song, because one thing for the entire DC fandom, they went pretty much every single panel, they completely went out of their way to stress to us that this is a multiverse, especially when the Robert Pattinson conversation came up. So to me, if you've made it abundantly clear that the Batman is on a they had a whole panel called the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I think that Pattinson is going to replace Ben Affleck? Because the whole thing with Gal Gadot and Ezra Miller and Jason Momoa, they plan on continuing that continuity.
Yep.
And if you're telling me that Pattinson now is on a different Earth, you don't
I will explain during the Snyder Cut.
Okay.
So my thing is, from somebody who downed Affleck the entire time when he first became Batman, he surprised me in Justice League, and I actually applauded him for Justice League. It wasn't Affleck that I really got on. It was how they made him portray Batman. But I would miss Affleck as Batman. I think he did a good job. Justice League, Batman v Superman. We all know how I feel about that. No, but Justice League Batman, I was just like, yo, go ahead, Affleck.
Like Suicide Squad Batman.
He wasn't, but he was only in there for like 5 minutes slapping people around, and that was it.
That's all you need.
Yeah, and he did a good job in that. But what was the panel after?
Well, they did a Beyond Batman, which was the Batman Beyond comics.
I like those.
It was Kevin Conroy and Will Friedle coming back to do commentary on Batman 1966. Adam West's Batman.
I thought that
was funny.
That was funny. I thought it was pretty cool. It was a 5-minute short. It was nice.
He's like, is that a mustache?
It was pretty cool. But after that came what a lot of people were waiting for, was the Suicide Squad panel. And